a prestigious high school where the rich and powerful rule, while a scholarship student is trapped under the thumb of the school's most vicious clique, led by the cold, beautiful Seo Jiwoo, and her equally cruel lackeys. The cafeteria buzzed with laughter. But the moment YN stepped inside, the air turned. I see she clutched the plastic bag tighter ramyeon packets inside the wrong brand. She knew what was coming. Jiwoo. Took you long enough, Pig Jiwoo's voice dripped with venom. She lounged at the center table, her manicured fingers tapping against the surface. Did you get lost on your way to the trash heap? Where you belong, YN swallowed hard, bowing slightly sorry. The store didn't have the brand you wanted. Harin excuses one of Jiwoo's friends snatched the bag and dumped the contents onto the table. The ramyeon packets scattered like fallen soldiers. Harin, store brand garbage. Did you think we'd actually eat this? Jiwoo smirked, picking up a packet between two fingers like it was contaminated. You really are useless. Before YN could react, Harin grabbed her wrist and yanked her forward, slamming her face onto the table. The edge dug into her ribs. Jiwoo, since you love cheap things so much, why don't you eat it? YN what? Jiwoo didn't answer. Instead, she ripped open the packet, dumped the dry noodles onto the table, and poured boiling water from her thermos over them. The steam rose in YN's face, scalding her skin. Then Jiwoo spat on it. A thick, deliberate glob landed right in the center. Eat. Silence. The entire cafeteria watched, some in horror, most in amusement. YN's hands trembled. Please. Jiwoo's eyes darkened. I said. She grabbed YN's hair, forcing her face toward the ruined ramyeon. Eat it. Tears blurred YN's vision as she gagged, the smell of saliva and noodles making her stomach churn. The laughter around her was deafening. Jiwoo leaned in, whispering, "This is all you deserve." YN stumbled out of the cafeteria, her lips still burning from the humiliation. The whispers followed her, disgusting. She really ate it. Pathetic. But the worst part, Jiwoo wasn't done. As YN reached the bathroom to scrub her mouth raw, the door slammed open. Jiwoo stood there smirking, holding another ramyeon packet. "Tomorrow," she said sweetly, "you'll bring the right brand, or next time, I'll make you lick it off the floor." Bora, stop this right now. Jiwoo. The class president stepped forward, her jaw clenched tight. Jiwoo stared back, coldly, completely unfazed. "Oh, here we go again. Don't start preaching now, Bora. This isn't our boring classroom." She rolled her eyes, voice dripping with mockery. "You've been constantly bullying her. If you don't stop this instant, I'll be forced to take action." Her voice trembled with fury as she met Jiwoo's icy gaze. "Oh, really, Miss Class President? And what exactly are you going to do? Run to the teacher, or maybe the head teacher?" She laughed darkly. The entire corridor fell silent, eyes wide with fear. "Did you forget my dad just donated a massive amount to this school for new auditorium, new facilities, full scholarships? Should I keep going?" She flicked a condescending glance at you, then laughed again, loudly mocking. "And Bora, I don't even think about collecting any proof against me. If you value your future, that is." She leaned, and her voice low and dangerous, her eyes sharp and threatening, made Bora freeze. Bora swallowed hard. Jiwoo wasn't just a spoiled student. She was the daughter of one of the country's most powerful politicians and heir to an empire. Fighting her wasn't just difficult, it was dangerous. Even the teachers often looked the other way when they heard whispers of Jiwoo's bullying. And in that moment, silence ruled. No one dared move, no one dared speak. After break, the teacher enters. "Settle down, everyone. We have a new transfer student joining us today." The class goes quiet. YN lifts her head slowly. "Come in." The door opens. A tall boy walks in. His dark brown hair falls slightly over his forehead. He's handsome, no, he's striking, but his expression is cold. His eyes scan the class, searching. Kim Taehyung, short, sharp. His voice is low and deep. His eyes stop when they find her. YN sitting alone. His gaze lingers. Her eyes meet his. For just a second, she quickly looks away. He feels a sharp pain in his chest. "Welcome, Taehyung. You can sit anywhere you like." Taehyung doesn't even blink. He starts walking straight to The back every step echoes. Students watch confused. Why is he walking back there? No one sits with her. The bench creaks as he sits beside her. YN freezes. She shifts further toward the wall, her body stiff, her fingers gripping her pen. Taehyung glances at her again. He notices her sleeves pulled down too tight, her wrist red, her eyes hollow, his jaw clenches. So it's already started. YN doesn't say a word, not even a glance. She just stares at her notebook, the words blurry, her breathing is shallow. Are you okay? Soft, quiet, only for her to hear. Hushy blinks fast, avoids looking at him. I'm fine. You don't look fine. She bites her lip, looks away. Please, don't talk to me. It'll make things worse for you. After a pause, let them try silence between them. From the front row, Jiwoo turns her head, slightly watching, her lips curl into a smile. Looks like the new boy doesn't know the rules he'll learn. They always do. Back at the bench, YN is tense. Taehyung notices her notebook is messy, torn, some pages scribbled out in red ink. Her name is scratched on the corner, mocked in handwriting that's not hers. Who did this to you? The teacher starts class. But Taehyung isn't listening. His eyes are on her, on the way her shoulders shrink, the way she jolts at sudden sounds, the way her pen trembles. No one will touch you again. Not while I'm here after school. Suddenly it starts to rain. No one expected it to rain today. I hate this rain, she says, frustrated. Hey, where's that trash? When can't we take out our frustration on her? He laughs. Yeah, Jiwoo, let's find her and drag her to the rooftop. It'll be fun to see her trembling in this heavy rain. Jiwoo only half listens as she's busy calling her driver. Hey, look over there. They point toward Taehyung. Walking with Taehyung and he's not leaving your side for even a minute. You find it strange and try to pull away from him. Please don't come with me. But you promise to be my guide. Around this city, your eyes widen slightly. But when did you start to walk? But stop at the gate, seeing the heavy rain. Suddenly T pulls out an umbrella. How did he know it would rain this heavily today? Yeah. I checked the weather forecast, too. Even they said it would be clear today. Wanna lift? He winks and your eyes widen again. No. Taehyung narrows his eyes, noticing your group of bullies. He smiles gently at you and leans closer. You're very beautiful, and it's dangerous for a beautiful girl to walk alone. You know your breath catches. He suddenly holds your hand and starts walking under the umbrella. Your heart starts beating faster. Awa. This is so romantic, he says. While you try to free your hand, please let me go. T. I just want to go home. Your voice shakes in fear. Taehyung's heart clenches. He wants to hug you and make you feel safe. Why, and do you know any good traditional ramyeon shops around here? He asks, rubbing his stomach. You hear it growling. He asks, only because there's a small shop near your home, and he plans to drop you there safely. Yeah, I know. When he smiles, then let's go eat there. This is the shop where you also work part-time in the evenings. Wow, this is really amazing. YN. You insisted not to eat, but he still dragged you inside, saying he has something secret to tell you. Tell me. You wanted to say something, right? He nods and pushes the bowl of ramyeon toward you. First eat this, my lady. Then I'll tell you, he says softly. But firmly, you start to eat, still looking pale and expressionless. It's about me and who I really am. It was almost midnight. The roads were empty, the city slowly winding down. But for Kim Taehyung, life never slowed, not even on his birthday. The luxury car hummed softly as he drove through the city's silent streets. On the radio, a voice was reporting the latest market changes, stocks rising, companies merging, news that normally excited him. But tonight it only felt dull. After all, today was his birthday. Or rather, it would be in just 2.5 hours. Kim Taehyung would turn 22. He chuckled quietly to himself, one hand on the steering wheel, the other adjusting the AC. CEO at 21, billionaire. Before 22, shouldn't I feel proud? But he didn't. He just felt restless, and then it happened. A blur of movement,
A figure, a girl, suddenly ran into the middle of the road right in front of his car. His heart jumped, brakes screeched. Tires screamed, but not fast enough. Thud. She hit the ground. Taehyung's eyes widened in horror. Without wasting a second, he flung open the car door and rushed toward her. Please, don't be dead, please. I dropped to my knees beside her. My hands were shaking. I never panic, not in meetings, not under pressure. But this, she looked so fragile, her hair messy, clothes torn, lips pale, her body was still. But then I saw at her chest moving slowly, she was breathing. I exhaled in relief and whispered, "You're okay, Yowl, be okay." I lifted her in my arms and rushed her into the back seat of my car, speeding toward the nearest hospital. The hospital was nearly empty. The girl was taken and examined and treated quickly. The doctor returned after an hour with a calm expression. "She's fine, minor injuries. She just fainted, most likely from shock or fear. Well, keep her under observation tonight and discharge her tomorrow morning." Taehyung sighed, brushing his fingers through his hair. But then came the strange part. They tried contacting someone using her phone. Parents, friends, anyone. No one answered. No emergency contact, no family name. The girl was alone. And that made Taehyung stay. He sat outside her room, watching the time tick past. Midnight, his phone buzzed nonstop, his parents calling, staff messaging about his birthday. But he answered only once. "I am at the hospital," he said simply. "Someone needed help. I had my assistant trace her name, just in case. I don't like not knowing things." Her name was YN. University student, lives alone in a rented apartment in the city. No recent activity on social media. A quiet profile. I sat beside her bed on the hospital sofa, staring at her face. She looked peaceful now, but also sad, even unconscious. She seemed tense, like her body remembered pain. And then she stirred, her eyes fluttered, her lips moved. Please, don't hurt me," she whispered. "Please, don't touch me." I leaned forward gently, when her eyes opened wider, confused, scared. When I said again, softer this time, "You're safe now." Her body trembled. I didn't ask anything. I just sat back, giving her space. "This wasn't just an accident. There's a story behind those words," she whispered. And for some reason, I needed to know it. The next morning, YM was discharged from the hospital. She was still quiet. Her eyes were empty, like she was lost inside her own world. The nurse told Taehyung she had no one listed as emergency contact, so without asking anyone, Taehyung decided he would take care of her. He brought her to one of his private apartments. The place was quiet, warm, and safe. He made sure she had everything, like clothes, food, comfort, peace. She never asked anything, she never smiled, she just existed. But Taehyung didn't leave her. He stayed every single day. He fell without realizing. In just a few days, Taehyung stopped checking business emails. He stopped going to parties and meetings. He stayed by her side, sometimes reading, sometimes just watching her sleep. They watched her favorite movies together, sometimes cooked together. She didn't talk much, but one day when he was about to leave, she softly whispered, "Why do you feel so familiar, like we've known each other? And why are you helping me?" He looked at her and replied gently, "I don't know, but I want to help you." That day, both of them felt it. He had fallen in love that night. Taehyung couldn't sleep. Questions filled his heart. He asked his men to find out everything about her past. What he learned made his blood boil. 3 years ago, in her final, those people were cruel. They made her life a nightmare. And one horrible day, they pushed her in front of a speeding car. That trauma never healed. That was the pain she carried. Taehyung sat in the dark that night, fists clenched, jaw tight. He wanted to destroy everyone who had hurt her, but instead he did something better. He gave her love. Weeks turned into months, and one day, while they were watching the sunset from the balcony, Taehyung turned to her and said, "Will you marry me?" Anna, her eyes filled with tears. She didn't say yes out loud, but she hugged him so tightly that it was enough. A week later, they got married for the first time in a long time. She looked alive. 1 week after their wedding, they went for a checkup. It was supposed to be a normal health visit, nothing serious. But then the doctor looked at her reports. He sighed softly and said, "I am sorry, Mrs. Kim, you won't be able to become pregnant. The accident you had years ago may have damaged your womb." everything inside. Wyan went quiet. She stared at the doctor, then at Taehyung, then at nothing. She didn't cry there or speak. She just shut down that night. She didn't eat. She didn't respond when Taehyung talked. She just lay in bed staring at the ceiling, her eyes empty again. The next few weeks were worse. She stopped smiling. She started forgetting things. She refused to touch food. She locked herself in the bathroom. One night Taehyung found her sitting on the floor whispering, "I am not a woman anymore. I can't give you a child. I am useless." Taehyung dropped to his knees in front of her. "Stop, please. Don't say that you are my everything. You are not useless." But she didn't believe him. Every night after putting her to sleep, Taehyung would go to the balcony and cry silently, bitterly, looking up at the stars. He would pray, "God, please save her. She's breaking, and I can't hold her anymore." He even spoke to adoption centers. He made a plan to adopt a baby to surprise her. He thought maybe it would bring her back, but things got worse. One evening, she was sitting on the floor again, mumbling to herself. She didn't recognize Taehyung when he walked in. She looked at him like he was a stranger. And suddenly she picked up a knife from the table. "You lied. You said you loved me, but you want a baby like all men." Taehyung froze. "Taehyung," in awe, put the knife down. "It's me, it's Taehyung." But she wasn't listening. She swung the knife at him. He caught her hand, stopping her, his eyes filled with tears. "I love you," in awe, "not for children, not for anything, just you." That night his family found out. The neighbors heard noises. The next morning people whispered, "She's crazy. She needs help. He should send her to a mental hospital. She might kill him next time." And worst of all, the police were informed. They said if he didn't send her for treatment, they would take action. Taehyung stood there, heart breaking into pieces. He looked at his wife, who was curled up on the floor, hugging her knees, whispering that night his, "Wyan, don't take me away, please. Don't leave me alone." Again he fell beside her, hugged her, and whispered with tears falling down his cheeks, "I'm not leaving you," in awe, "even if the whole world leaves you. I'm still here." Next day, the living room was silent, painfully silent, the kind of silence that made even the ticking clock sound like thunder. Taehyung stood in the middle of the room, frozen. His shirt had a fresh cut across the chest. Thankfully, the knife hadn't gone deep. His eyes weren't focused on the blood. They were stuck on the shaking figure in front of him. You, his wife, were sitting on the floor, clutching your head, your breath, uneven, eyes wild, and
led by the cold, beautiful CEO Jiwoo, and her equally cruel lackeys. The cafeteria buzzed with laughter. But the moment Wyan stepped inside, the air turned. I see she clutched the plastic bag tighter. Ramyeon packets inside, the wrong brand. She knew what was coming. "Jiwoo, took you long enough." Pig Jiwoo's voice dripped with venom. She lounged at the center table, her manicured fingers tapping against the surface. "Did you get lost on your way to the trash heap? Where you belong?" Wyan swallowed hard, bowing slightly sorry. "The store didn't have the brand you wanted." Harin excuses one of Jiwoo's friends, snatched the bag and dumped the contents onto the table. The ramyeon packets scattered like fallen soldiers. Harin, store brand garbage. "Did you think we'd actually eat this?" Jiwoo smirked, picking up a packet between two fingers like it was contaminated. "You really are useless." Before Wyan could react, Harin grabbed her wrist and yanked her forward, slamming her face onto the table. The edge dug into her ribs. "Jiwoo, since you love cheap things so much, why don't you eat it?" Wyan what? Jiwoo didn't answer. Instead, she ripped open the packet, dumped the dry noodles onto the table, and poured boiling water from her thermos over them. The steam rose in Wyan's face, scalding her skin. Then Jiwoo spat on it. A thick, deliberate glob landed right in the center. Eat. Silence. The entire cafeteria watched, some in horror, most in amusement. Wyan's hands trembled. "Please." Jiwoo's eyes darkened. "I said." She grabbed Wyan's hair, forcing her face toward the ruined ramyeon. "Eat it." Tears blurred Wyan's vision as she gagged, the smell of saliva and noodles making her stomach churn. The laughter around her was deafening. Jiwoo leaned in, whispering, "This is all you deserve." Wyan stumbled out of the cafeteria, her lips still burning from the humiliation. The whispers followed her, disgusting. She really ate it, pathetic. But the worst part, Jiwoo wasn't done as Wyan reached the bathroom to scrub her mouth raw. The door slammed open, Jiwoo stood there smirking, holding another ramyun packet. Tomorrow, she said sweetly, you'll bring the right brand, or next time, I'll make you lick it off the floor. Bora, stop this right now. Jiwoo, the class president, stepped forward, her jaw clenched tight. Jiwoo stared back, coldly, completely unfazed. Oh, here we go again. Don't start preaching now, Bora. This isn't our boring classroom. She rolled her eyes, voice dripping with mockery. You've been constantly bullying her. If you don't stop this instant, I'll be forced to take action. Her voice trembled with fury as she met Jiwoo's icy gaze. Oh, really, Miss Class President? And what exactly are you going to do? Run to the teacher, or maybe the head teacher? She laughed darkly. The entire corridor fell silent, eyes wide with fear. Did you forget my dad just donated a massive amount to this school for new auditorium, new facilities, full scholarships? Should I keep going? She flicked a condescending glance at you, then laughed again, loudly mocking. And Bora, I don't even think